Good afternoon, Ibu Ratmi. Good afternoon, my friends. Thank you for the chance given to us. In this occasion, we are going to present about an analysis on the syllabus of Program Studi Pariwisata Budaya Hindu. So we are from the first group, Ibu Mita, Pak Agung, me, Agus, and Ibu Widiasih will present the analysis based on three aspects. There are 4 points to be analyzed. There are 3 aspects for relevancies in this case. The first is the relevancy of materials. The second is the relevancy of methods or techniques. And the third one is the relevancy of assessment. For the other points that we are going to analyze is the strengths and the weaknesses of the syllabus itself. So for the first part, the first point will be presented by Pak Agung. Please proceed.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity given to me. So this is the time to deliver the relevancy to the material. So according to Jack Richards, there are some indicators that can be used to relevance between syllabus and learning materials as the content of learning activity. Of course, the content should be related to objective, and then authentic, interesting, developed based on the student level, and then relevant to the needs, and then leads to mastery or more understanding of the course of subject, and then leads to the acquisition skills and knowledge that are considered useful by the society of future jobs, and of course the material sequence from the easiest one to the hardest one. Okay, first of all, I would like to explain that actually after exploring the syllabus, the content is not related to the objective. So the objective is described in the description of the subject. So based on the objective proposed by the syllabus organizer, these students are able to communicate in the tourism and being able to construct the sentences and paragraph related to tourism destination and cultural event, and communicating them in verbal and non-verbal. But the content or learning material is not as well as the description and the nature of English for tourism. The communication should be applied in 2 ways, but the syllabus shows us there is one-way communication, just presentation activities. And then the second one, the content is not authentic. According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, authentic means genuine, true, and accurate. So the learning materials are about tourism destination and its support, like describing facilities, food and beverage, the way to go there or asking direction, giving direction, and then art and culture, cultural event. All of them are represented in authentic of English tourism. But however, it is not appropriate when the syllabus organizer put the study of activities in daily activities. Okay, then next one is learning material leads to mastery or more understanding of the course of subject. So this course is mainly focused on the mastery of tourism in the field of tourism destination and cultural event. And then next is the content of the learning material leads to the acquisition of skills and knowledge that are considered useful by the society of the future jobs. It can be explained that the learning material that presented into spoken and written activities are useful for the society. Okay, next, in the learning material, after exploring it, so the content is not interesting. Why? Because there is too monotone in the learning, because there are vocabulary and then writing activity and speaking activity too dominant. So there is no such activities that build up critical thinking like discussion and sharing session. Then the content is not developed based on student levels. So there is no degree in designing the learning objective. Learning objective provides students with a clear purpose on which to focus on their learning efforts. So if we reflect to the theory of Heinrich's ABCD, which consists of audience, behavior, and then condition and degree. So this is very important to state the degree or the student's level. Okay, next is the indicator is scope of learning material relevance in the syllabus. And then last, the learning materials one is designed from the easiest one to the hardest, which can be described from the first until the last lesson learning outcomes. Next will be continued by our partner. Thank you. Next, Bapak Agung.
Well, thank you, Pak Agung, for having the first relevancy. That is about materials. The next part is the relevancy of methods or strategies. I will tell you from the two parts. The first is from the three aspects on the methods and strategies used in the syllabus, and the second one from the approaches. If we look at the aspects and the approaches, the syllabus already accommodating the students' characteristics. In this case, it's the first semester students, and the second one, the course description and learning outcomes. These three aspects are the consideration to choose the methods of strategies for the syllabus. And the approaches, after looking at the several strategies that are used for the teaching and learning process based on the syllabus, it seems that the three approaches are already accommodated for choosing the methods of or strategies. The first one, self-directed learning. The second one is communicative language teaching. And the third one, task-based learning. This approach happened and seen from the activities of the learning, because the focus of the learning is more on communicative tasks. So the goal is on making the students to be able to communicate. So it's really important and really relevant if the syllabus accommodating any kinds of strategies that address these kinds of approaches. And then for the kinds of methods or strategies and its relevancy based on the syllabus, it was found that there are 10 methods or strategies used in the syllabus. The first one, inquiry methods. The second one is question and answer. The third one is discussion. The fourth one, power writing. And then case study, lecturing, peer assessment, and performance assessment. After this syllabus is analyzed in the context of its relevancy for the methods or strategies, for strategy number 1 until number 5, it is relevant with those three considerations and approaches. So if it is looked from the three considerations just now, students' characteristics, the level, and then course descriptions and learning outcomes, and also the three approaches, self-directed learning, communicative language teaching, and task-based learning, these 5 methods and strategies are relevant to be used as the teaching strategies or methods in the syllabus. Meanwhile, the designer of the syllabus put lecturing strategy to deliver the material. This is not relevant because it is not based on the objectives of the teaching, because the objectives of the teaching is to make students able to communicate with the guests and other things. In lecturing strategy, the focus is on the teacher, and it is not multi-interaction, rather it is a one-way interaction. The other last two, it seems that the designer of the syllabus are wrong to put this part into methods or strategy, because peer assessment and performance assessment is not methods or strategies of teaching. So this is not relevant to put in the method column. It must be put in another column. For example, it can be inserted one more column that is entitled assessment criteria and technique. So for the relevancy of methods and strategy based on the syllabus that we analyze, that's all. Now I will continue for the relevancy of the assessment to Ibu Mita.
Thank you, Mr. Agus. So now I would like to deliver about the relevance of assessment. So in analyzing the relevance of assessment of the course unit, we base the analysis on the theory of Hilda Taba and also Rob Tyler in developing good instruction. A good assessment should relevance with objectives, content, activities, and also students' level. And the assessment should also have indicators and criteria that have been written in a rubric. And moreover, the assessment should be comprehensive. So it means that it uses more than one kind of assessment. So here the result of analysis. The first is the assessment is not based on the objective. So the objectives stated in the syllabus are not specific and detailed, while the assessment assesses specific competencies. I give you an example. The specific objective is said, mampu melakukan presentasi dengan menggunakan bahasa Inggris yang baik dan benar. While the assessment assess in the form of performance assessment, with assess writing and speaking about tourism destination description. And then the second is the assessment is not based on the content. For example, the content is vocabulary about tourism destination and also descriptive text, theme writing, and public speaking, while the assessment assess writing and speaking about description of tourism destination. And the third result is the assessment is not relevant with the learning activities. The activities in meeting 6 and 7 are asked the student to list vocabularies about direction and make blind map. And then after that, they fill the blind map and using the complete blind map as a material of discussion. While in the assessment, the assessment requires the student to write and present about direction of tourism destination. And then the fourth result, the assessment is relevant to the student's level. It can be seen from the form of the assessment that requires student to write a paragraph. So it is suitable for the first semester student. The fifth, the assessment has indicators and criteria which are written on the rubric. On the course unit, there are 2 rubrics which assess writing and speaking performance. And the rubric are complete with detailed indicators and clear criteria. And then the last result is the assessment is comprehensive. The course unit provide 2 kinds of performance. Two kinds of assessment, performance assessment, and in writing and also in speaking. So based on the result of analysis, it can be stated that the assessment of course unit has not fulfilled the criteria of a good instruction.
Okay, then let me continue to the strengths and weaknesses of this syllabus and course unit. Okay, we have already listened the report from the other members about the relevancy of materials, relevancy of method and strategy, and relevancy of assessment. From those analysis, we can conclude the strengths and weaknesses of this syllabus. Let's start from the strengths. There are 3 strengths here. The first one is the content is accommodating English as a medium of instruction. It focuses on skills and acquisition. So if we see from the content, this syllabus is already used English as medium of instruction. It can be seen from the list of materials given, the activities given in the syllabus. The second one is about the strategies. The strategies are accommodating self-directed learning and communicative language teaching and task-based learning approach. We can refer to previous presenter which already described about this. We can see from the list of strategies used in this syllabus that this syllabus is really focusing the students' development on self-directed learning. And the strategies also train the student to use their communicative skills and use the task as the guidance through the activities. And the third strength is the assessments. The assessments are comprehensive with the support of relevant and detailed rubric. The assessment already use 2 types of assessment. And then if we see from the rubric already has the indicators and also the criteria that is really clear there. But I think we need to see from another side, from the weaknesses side. The first weaknesses is the content. From the content is monotonous and not related to the objectives. Okay, so based on our analysis, we can see that the content is mostly about vocabularies and it repeated until the last meeting, start from the first meeting to the last meeting. And we think that it's monotonous and not related to the objectives. The objective is too broad, but the content is kind of really specific. Second weaknesses is the irrelevancy of putting lecturing as the strategy if the goal is being communicative through the task. Because this syllabus is pursuing the communicative language teaching, it's a bit misleading when the creator of this syllabus put lecturing strategies or method in this syllabus. The third weaknesses is the assessment is not based on the objectives, contents, and activities. As the previous description that the assessment in this syllabus is not based on these 3 main parts. Okay, from these strengths and weaknesses, we can conclude that this syllabus need more improvement because the weaknesses are on the crucial or the main or the core part of this syllabus, which is on the objectives, content, and the activities. Maybe later on, the creator of this syllabus can be suggested to use the result of this analysis to improve the later syllabus. Okay, thank you very much for the presentation. Maybe if you still have any doubts or something to discuss, you can comment under this video. Thank you.